Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great weekend. This is our weekly watch list video breaking down the market as well as a few plays we are watching. Enjoy. So, getting things started, what is really interesting here on QQQ is really a change in sentiment and a change in structure. Meaning, we get this gap down and we get this follow through, and this is one of the strongest gap candles you can possibly have. So we closed right here and we opened right here, but look at what this gap tells us. We closed right at the low. So this is a very weak day. Then what happens here? We gap up inside of this range right here, and boom, we sell off again. Then we try to attempt higher and then sell off again here on this. The market is very weak, and you guys will remember from the last watch list, I said this candle right here is very telling. And in my opinion, this is the start of the correction lower, where we get a complete fundamental shift in the market. We get a CPI print that comes in lower than expected, which really the market has been wanting from this period all the way up to here. Well, then we get that, and now the market rolls over. So this bar right here is a huge red flag. And in my opinion, this is the start of this correction move lower that can test back up down into the structure on like 445, which really, after this bull run here, is the next area to look for when we talk about structure down in here. So to me, this looks like the start of the rollover here. We changed the structure. CPI is now priced in. It's more of like a sell the news event. And for me this week, if we get below 473.53, look out below, because this thing can easily fill this gap back down here into 466.85, which is almost, what is that, an $8 move. So definitely something to keep an eye on. I think the sentiment and the structure has shifted in the market. And definitely, until I'm proven wrong, which would be a break back over these highs, I think we see a corrective move lower, and not something where I want to be as apt to forcing longs in this market, because it's clearly, in my opinion, rolling over, and especially below 473.53 can see that move lower. Now, for Monday, only watching along if we can break the prior bar's high. So we broke it here, but then we come here, didn't break. Really, for a chance of this being a higher low off of this right here, we need a bar that comes like this and breaks this prior bar's high, where then we can trend back up into 488.26. The one thing you got to know about this potential correction is you will have corrective waves. So you can get this bounce move that comes up into like 492, retests the structure right here, and then puts in that lower high for then that move lower. So even if we are in a downtrend and the market has shifted, you can still catch these rallies in a downtrend that leads to a lower high and then that move lower, and definitely something you want to keep an eye on. Amazon, watching this in terms of a Monday play here, and really what I'm watching is just back over 184.34 for a daily buy over this high. That could open, if we opened above, that would be even better. But we can get that move back up into 189.58, which is a decent move here and a decent bounce. It would be that daily buy here off of this potential higher low off of here. So if you look at this structure right here, that potential higher low that can trade higher, that's going to be my main watch. What I don't like is when we tried to break here and then we slammed all the way lower down here, lower and lower. Now we're trying to hold. If we hold above this high, then definitely something I want to be interested in longing this week. AMD, super weak, but I think it comes to the point where this is such a strong sell candle that we see some sort of inside bar here this week. And if that's wrong, it would be below this weekly bar's low, and that thesis is completely wrong, and I will gladly live with that. But for me, if we're holding anything inside this low, it wouldn't be that uncommon to just rally in the slam lower up into 164. So that's a $14 move, and it doesn't look like anything on the weekly chart because this is such a big slam bar that you take out a lot of sellers off of this move, and I think we can see an inside bar weekly chart here which then would correspond to, okay, if we have that on the weekly, what am I looking for on the daily? I am watching long over this prior day high at 155 with a move, like I said, up into that 164.55 area. And it could also, you could say this plays into a bear trap thesis where everyone sees it break below this, it's super weak, and then if you stuff this higher and you trap those shorts, then that adds to that buying pressure that can see that trade higher. Definitely something I want to keep on watch here this week. And Tesla, the last one here, definitely really weak. And even if you go into the 4-hour here, clearly we have this high here, this pivot, this lower high, potential higher low, but then we put in a lower high, and then we put in this lower low. I want to note it has earnings, which obviously throws a wrench into things. But for me, below 238.92, eyeing shorts on this with room down into 228.57. And it would be a failed potential higher low that puts in a lower high right here and then rolls over once we break below here. Personally, that short below 238.92 on watch this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found value, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.